please. I need help. I've had marital problems.
Honey, I think it's time that we start talking about a divorce.
Larry, we're gonna be fine.
Professional, you name it.
Larry, we've received a number of letters denigrating you and urging us not to grant you tenure.
I need help.
We're gonna be fine.
A very serious man.
Okay, I keep saying simple man.
I know. We were talking because you and I kept doing that.
I think it's a simple plan, a simple, what is it? Simple something, a man, a plan, a canal, Panama. I don't know. But no, it's a serious man, and it's the new film from the Coen brothers.
Yes, Joel and Ethan Coen, who have brought us many films, and with the Coen brothers, I either love their movies or I don't. I mean, I love Fargo, I love Raising Arizona, I love Miller's Crossing, but then things like Barton Fink just piss me off, and
I fall under the camp of people who've loved almost everything by them. I never saw The Lady Killers because
terrible movie.
Everybody told me, even the biggest fans I know of the Coen brothers said, "Yeah, you probably should skip that one."
Yeah,
and I did not like Intolerable Cruelty, even though it's one of the ones people said, "You know what? Go back and give it another chance. You might like it better the second time." Certainly, that's been true of some of their films in the past. Because, there's always a lot going on in their films. It's a lot more than just face value in all their movies.
Oh, yeah, no, and that's what I try to find that, because some movies I actually changed my mind about. I keep hearing that there's more subtlety to The Big Lebowski, because when I saw The Big Lebowski, I didn't like it. And then people keep saying, look, there's these little nuances in here that you're missing. And I'm like, you know what? I should go watch that again. And love Blood Simple.
Yeah, but still one of their best films, and it was their first.
And then, and then the last movie, No Country for Old Men,
we don't need to tell you.
We talked about it so many times, but I love the movie. Is just the ending, and even then, I've kind of withdrawn on the ending, saying, okay, if people like it, I understand.
And now we just got another 50 comments just because of
I know.
That. Fuck you
motherfuckers! Guys. But this is one of those movies where I didn't walk out hating it, but I walked out saying, I need to think about this.
Oh, yeah.
Seriously.
No, yeah. I'm going to be a serious man thinking about a serious man. Oh, this is one of the niche films they do, or at least it feels that way. I mean, there's not a lot of big stars in here. It's a very quiet film, and it feels like The Man Who Wasn't There, or films like that.
That's right, and another one I did not like.
Well, it's like, it almost feels like, and somebody else said this, but said it feels like they're going back to film school in some ways. Like they're going, what we always wanted to try to see if it would work. And it's like an experiment, like a film thesis paper or something, more than a completed film in and of itself. Because once again, this suffers from one of those things at the end, you just kind of go, what?
Well, see, that's what I was saying. Do these motherfuckers, are they fucking with us now? I mean, they was almost like they got a good laugh out of No Country for Old Men. Like, you know what? Let's do it again. That was funny. And it's like, I'm walking out of here and I'm like, I can't believe you did that shit again. Well, and
I think I understand what they were saying. I just don't understand why they were saying it.
Well, you're right. It's almost like they said, you know what? We got Oscars and some money. Let's like make film school projects, our student films, but with big budgets.
Yeah.
We got, with the Coen brothers, we can do whatever the hell we want to do.
And not to mention, this time they're like, you know what, we're Jewish. Let's make the most Jewish film ever made.
Man, this movie was Jewy ooey gooey.
There's nothing there's wrong with that. But I mean, seriously, even some Jews I know in the audience were like, seriously, can we tone this down a bit?
I heard one Jew guy sit next to me like, oh, this movie's so Jewy. No, it's the movie deals with let's see what the lead character here who he is, a guy named Larry Gopnik.
Gopnik, was that his last name?
That was like Gopnik. Like he had the name of like an alien dictator. I am Gopnik, come to rule the earth. No, it's Larry Gopnik he's a college professor. What does he teach? He's math.
It's like physics.
Physics, okay. Yeah. And nothing seems to be going well in his life. I mean, his life is aimless. He has no control over it. No one seems to be into his class. He doesn't know if they're going to give him tenure at the school he's teaching. When he comes home, his
kids don't respect him. Oh, his wife wants to leave him for another man.
His kid, like his son is very disrespectful, doesn't give a shit, is smoking dope, and has a bar mitzvah coming up, and the only thing he cares about from his dad is, hey dad, I can't get F Troop on the TV. And his daughter is like stealing money from his wallet so she can go get a nose job. And it's just like this guy's fault. His life is just falling apart, man. There is no direction and no answers at all.
And what you start to realize about the halfway halfway point, oh, this is the story of Job from the Bible about the guy who God made a bet with Satan. See, you people actually believe this, but okay. God made a bet with Satan and said, you know what? I bet you that no matter what you do to him, Satan, he's still going to love me and respect my word and my laws. And Satan's like, whatever, dude.
watch this.
This sounds like fun. Let's do this. So just for the fuck of it, they decided to screw with this guy's life. And Job, of course, never actually gave in, and his in the end was rewarded by God or something like that.
Or something like that. He was given
I think there was
5 goats and 2 wives or some shit like
he
that.
got on an ark and then he ate the apple and something else happened. I don't know.
He burned a bush and put it out with his urine or something. I don't. But now in this movie, this does seem to be a test of a guy's faith because the answer is go see a rabbi, and he's being pushed from one rabbi to another, and the main rabbi that he wants to see just doesn't have time for him.
Yeah.
Please, I need help. I've already talked to the other rabbis. Please. It's not about Danny's bar mitzvah. My boy Danny, this coming Shabbos, very joyous event. That's all fine. It's more about myself. I've had quite a bit of Cyrus lately. This is not a frivolous request. This is I've tried to be a serious man, you know? Tried to do right, be a member of the community, raise Danny, Sarah, they both go to school, Hebrew school, a good breakfast. Well, Danny goes to Hebrew school. Sarah doesn't have time. She mostly washes her hair. Apparently, there are several steps involved, but you don't have to tell Marshak that. Just tell him I need help. Please? I need help.
For a Coen Brothers movie like this, you don't know where it's going. And sometimes for a movie that can be a good thing, but for this, where we just see a guy just being torn up, just being beat down by life, it can become exhausting, man. And the only thing that can really get you through this are the characters.
Which are admittedly entertaining to watch. I mean, the Coens write fantastic characters, and they always have, even if the characters end up having nothing really to do. And in this case, I mean, it is fun watching it play out, but you keep going, okay, so how in the world are they going to get, what are they going to do to resolve this? But unfortunately, and I don't want to give any spoilers here, but there doesn't feel like there really is a resolution. It's just kind of, wow, I had a really bad day at work, so I'm going to write this horrible, horrible screenplay about a guy whose life sucks and just continues to suck. And
let me just go ahead and get the bad things out first. I mean, because as you can tell, I'm not crazy about this film. I mean, I just don't. My main problem with something like this, I don't mind seeing somebody get beat down by life. Sometimes that could be funny. That can make for some really fun but uncomfortable situations. Wondering how this person's going to get out of these situations, or what he's going to do to just make his life somewhat have some meaning. Here, these are the kind of characters that annoy me. The people who they're getting beat down by life because they're pussies. They don't have any spine. They have no authority because they won't take authority. It's so easy to get into some of these to get out of some of these situations. If he came home and the moment that his wife gave him shit or his kids would give him shit, he'd be like, "Shut the fuck up and sit down. I'm tired of this shit." You know what I mean? It's so easy to come in and just handle these situations if he was just not a serious man, but just a man.
Yeah. No, it seems like the title is trying to be sarcastic, and it would have made more sense if they called it A Good Man, because that's what he thinks he's trying to be, and that's wrong. You're just you're having no backbone. You're just kind of sitting there and letting everyone in your life take advantage of you because they know they can, and then you're punished by God for it.
Yeah. Even God's looking at him like, man, you know what? I'm tired of this guy.
What do I got to do?
Yeah.
It's like, I sent out 3 rowboats. What the fuck?
And God's looking at him like, I gave you nuts for a reason. I gave you a pair of balls to use them.
Do something about it. And it's aggravating to watch it. And yes, I get what the point of this is, and I get what the Coen brothers are doing. And yet, like I said, I don't understand why. And it's a shame because so much here is so typically Coen brothers good. I mean, the cinematography is gorgeous. The score is gorgeous. The characters are all well defined and interesting, and yet it just ends up being frustrating and depressing for no apparent reason.
The only thing that kept me from being depressed, the guy who plays the lead character, Larry Gottnick, is a guy named Michael Stolberg. I was wondering where I heard this guy before. Then I saw he was a Tony Award nominee, and I was like, okay, I never heard of this guy.
Yeah.
But this guy is really good. I mean, it's something about his face. He goes through the whole thing. Now, a lot of people in a movie like this would go through life all slumped over, shoulders high, and just shoulders like slumped over low and arms dangling. They'd be like, "Oh, woe is me." He goes through life like his face just has pure astonishment. Like, I can't believe this is happening to me.
That's how I'd be. I'd be like, what? Except I'd be like, what in the fuck?
But the guy who was having an affair with his wife, a guy named Fred Malaman.
Yeah,
Cy Abelman.
Yeah, Cy Abelman.
This guy's having an affair. Now, this is what made me mad about this guy Larry, and what also made me laugh about his situation with his wife cheating on him and about to leave him. The wife comes in and tells him, like, hey, you know what? Everybody can come in and tell him this kind of shit because they know he's going to roll over and take it. The wife comes in and says, like, hey, I think it's time we got divorced. I'm leaving you, and I've been having an affair with Cy Abelman. And he's like, Cy Abelman? And when you hear Cy Abelman, you think it's going to be like this real svelte, smooth pimp of a dude. And Larry starts getting phone calls from Cy Abelman. And Cy's like, Larry,
I know.
We need to talk.
He's a radio host, DJ, on NPR. That's what it sounds like.
And he knows, like, this guy's going to take it, so he's just like, no, I don't want you to be upset about this. Things just happen.
No.
And when you see the guy, he's like a guy in a leisure suit, old dude with a gray beard, and he's like, Larry, I brought over some wine.
Cy and I think it's best if you move out of the house.
Move out.
Well, it makes eminent sense.
Things can't continue as
Move
they...
out? Where would I go?
Well, for instance, the Jolly Roger is quite livable. It's not expensive. The rooms are eminently habitable.
This would allow you to visit the kids.
There's convenience in its favor. You've got a pool.
Wouldn't it make more sense for you to move in with Cy?
Harry.
Larry, you are jesting. I think really the Jolly Roger is the appropriate course of action.
This was the 70s, to be fair. So
No, it was
67.
67. And that was my other thing. That's the other thing that kept this movie from being depressing for me is, like, normally these kind of bland suburban settings would be depressing enough for me, but there's just something about the setting of 1967, the style of people, and then a lot of the music in this movie is centered around Jefferson Airplane. The movie opens up with Don't You Want Somebody to Love?
Yeah, which becomes like sort of a recurring theme throughout the entire film.
And so it's like it's so well suited when his neighbor who likes to sunbathe naked, who I thought has a weird face but was hot as hell.
She was a total butterface, but a MILF. No.
Yeah, man. You know, when that, like, that whole setting, the way our house was, and they're smoking dope, and you have like the decor of that period. And I'm like, you know something? This is like a fresh breath air for me having to be brought into this kind of scene because it's
fresh breath air.
I've been smoking dope right now. It's a fresh breath air.
What is that exactly? It's chewing gum commercial.
I should write slogans and jingles. A fresher breath air. But no, it's a breath. God, I'll start to do it again. A breath of fresh air. They have those little details come in from that period. So it's the characters are what kind of took me through the whole situation and made me able to cope with this movie.
Now, did you notice there was a weird, not only there was that Jefferson Airplane reoccurring thing, but there was also people kept saying, it wasn't me. I didn't do that. There was this whole like, I did nothing. I think that was the exact line. I did nothing. I didn't do anything. Where it was like, okay, well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
You're not doing anything.
That is.
That's exactly the problem. You're yelling it out loud. Listen to yourself. Do something.
Yeah, I love the way he's complaining. Like, I ain't do anything. It's like, yeah. That's why you're a victim.
If Woody Allen was there, he would have just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, even Woody Allen would have been like, be a man, God damn it.
No doubt.
But it was one of those movies where, hey, look, Coen Brothers fans are loyal. And if you are a hardcore, what the fuck is going on with me today?
I can't speak. Get me my breath freshener.
No, if you're a loyal Coen Brothers fan, you're gonna walk out of this and you're gonna say this is great. It's one of those movies because the Coen Brothers love to play with their narratives. They don't want to do a simple narrative. They want to come in and play around with it. And some people it's a means of making you think. To some people, it's just like, okay, you're fucking with me.
Well,
all right?
I mean, there's nothing wrong with fucking with structure and the way we tell stories. And that's not even really what they're doing here. They're just taking away the ending and saying, look, see, shame on you for thinking this was all going to work out. So kind of the same, feels like the same thing they did with No Country for Old Men.
Except in No Country for Old Men, the movie was building and building, and then nothing. And this is nothing. Okay, they're about to explain to me why there's nothing happening. Nothing. And it's like, oh shit.
It felt like it was building to was in some way this guy finally finding his backbone, which I guess to the Coen brothers, they say, well, that's just the Hollywood ending you expect. I was like, no, that's the way that stories have been told since the beginning of time. Why are you even bothering to tell a story if you didn't write a third act?
For me, I'm just thinking, all right, this isn't really bullshit, because there are certain parts of this movie that are very well directed. I do love the actors in this film, but I can watch this on DVD. And so rental.
It took me a while fighting between that and a low matinee, because honestly, this is an extremely well-crafted film up to a point, but it's just so frustrating. There wasn't enough during the rest of it for me to say this is worth actually paying to go see in the theater. If you're a Coen Brothers fan, then by all means, you're going to see this anyway, and you should see this anyway. It's a chapter in a studied and important body of work, but it's one of the smaller chapters. It's one of the less important ones.
Yeah. It really isn't that.
It's a rental. So.
Yeah. Nothing great for them. Just keep thinking that dude. Larry, I'm fucking your wife. Is that okay? I should try that. Maybe you ask politely.
Corey, I'm fucking the ending to all your movies. Is that all right? You don't really need an ending, do you? We're just going to have it kind of splutter out to nothing.
Yeah.
Don't worry. Here, have some fresh breathner.
The rabbi is busy.
He didn't look busy.
He's thinking.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need